2022 Gemini full moon reaches its maximum phase at 8:08 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, the 7th day of December 2022, at 16 degrees 1 minute 49 seconds, or 16.03 degrees. This will be the last full moon phase of the 2022 Gregorian calendar year. Gemini is mutable air energy, meaning adaptable or changeable air or wind. And this sign can really change like the wind. Gusty at some moments, a gentle breeze at others. It can clear the air of debris and toxins, but it can also create quite a bit of chaos and destruction. Gemini's zodiac symbol is the twins for good reason. This sign brings plenty of duality and duplicity, synchronicity and discordance. Change can come suddenly like a tornado, forcefully like a hurricane or a cyclone, or it can come gradually over time through erosion. Gemini is also known to have a very childlike energy. It craves knowledge and is rarely without a question to ask. It also enjoys games, especially mind games. Gemini is a master of wordplay, and in contrast to its reputation for lacking mental focus, it's very intentional with its words and questions. It also tends to listen more than it talks, asking questions either to prompt others into disclosing the information Gemini wants to know, or to get others to agree to something Gemini wants them to do or give. Gemini is very good at planting ideas and thoughts into others' heads to get them to change their minds and align with Gemini's intentions. Yet during a Gemini full moon, the full moon is reflecting the light of the Sagittarius sun. I call the Gemini-Sagittarius axis the axis of information and knowledge. Gemini is the student or theorist, asking questions, gathering information, formulating theories, and figuring out all possible computations for how the information it's gathered could be used and applied. Meanwhile, Sagittarius is the professor or the truth finder, actually going on the adventure, putting the theories into practical application in the real world, and gaining the wisdom of experience along the way. The Gemini full moon is the moment which Sagittarius comes back to Gemini and says, "Here's what I found to be true about your ideas and theories." However, in revealing what's actually and factually true, Sagittarius also exposes what is false. And this is where the 2022 Gemini full moon gets interesting. The 2022 Gemini full moon reveals where we've been stuck in our minds, where our thoughts and ideals haven't allowed us to change or advance, where we've intellectually and emotionally protected ourselves from new or different ideas, where we've gone as far as lying to ourselves to avoid having to change our ways of thinking. But the moon is not alone in its placement. It's sharing its time at 16 degrees Gemini with Mars retrograde. This is intense in that the truth the Sagittarius sun radiates into the world, the truth that is reflected by the Gemini moon, isn't only going to be backed up with words, it's going to be affirmed with actions and/or experiential evidence. Gemini won't be able to play games or do its crafty wordsmith thing to escape the facts this time. Gemini will need to accept these undeniable findings as they come to light. But it's not only the Sun and Moon-Mars opposition that makes its mark during this 2022 Gemini full moon. The opposition is actually a T-square configuration. Juno is in Pisces at 15 degrees, making square aspects to the Sun, Moon, and Mars at the full moon's maximum phase. Pisces-Juno reveals a commitment to higher truths, but it can also represent a commitment to idealism and escapism, to the fantasies we tell ourselves to avoid facing the truths that are surfacing. This placement challenges us to consider just how loyal we may be to our thinking and mental escapism over both our inner and experiential knowing. How much will we allow the experiential truths being revealed now to alter the way we think about and see ourselves and our current life circumstances? Are we rejecting truths to avoid reality, to stay in denial of the truths emerging within us and around us now? Can the revelations of truth alter our beliefs? Or have we become too emotionally invested in our thoughts and beliefs to change our minds? And can our higher selves, our spiritual consciousness, help us move beyond our minds and into our inner knowing for what we know to be true, even if we may not want that reality to be. Under the influence of this 2022 Gemini full moon, you can say you know, and you may think you know. But as the actual truth has begun surfacing, do you really know? And if you do really know, are you willing to admit to and take responsibility for what you know to be true, even if those truths are challenging, embarrassing, or regretful or remorseful? Because the 2022 Gemini full moon reveals that we're not repeating ideologies and beliefs from the past as much as we're continuing ideologies and beliefs that never truly went away in the first place. Too many of us have simply remained silent and waited for opportunities to bring what's hidden in the shadows of the past back into the light, and to bring them back as our experiential reality. On both the individual and collective levels, too many of us have refused to acknowledge the emerging realities that we've known to be true, all because we didn't want to be the ones held accountable for the pain and suffering those hidden truths caused. Nor did we want to take responsibility for righting the wrongs or correcting the courses of the past and present. And in our personal lives, too many of us have been in denial about certain truths about ourselves, how we choose to live our lives, and who we've been in our relationships with others and the world around us, unwilling to take responsibility for our past and, in some cases, our present deeds. This 2022 Gemini full moon reveals how our thoughts and truths are coming together, and it challenges each and all of us to make some choices. Will we choose to be real with ourselves and each other, and take responsibility for our present and our future? Or will we choose to stay in denial, hiding from our past and blaming our present on others who dare to bring us the truth? Numerologically, the 2022 Gemini full moon reaches its maximum phase on a 7 universal day in the Americas and all points west of them. But for the rest of the world, this full moon occurs on an 8 universal day. For the 7 universal day regions, you're being encouraged to pause and think before you act. Allow yourself to sit with your thoughts, emotions, and intuitions. Meditate, journal, read, ask questions, and don't wait for information to come to you. If you're proactive in seeking it out, the universe will provide an assist or two, but you have to start the inquiry. If you act before you're clear about what you truly believe and what is emotionally and spiritually aligned with your beliefs, you may find yourself doing more harm to yourself and others than you might intend. For the 8 universal day regions, you're being asked to realize how powerful experiential and factual truth can be. You may also recognize that it's no longer time to hide it, that now's the time to share the truth with others and possibly the world. Speak it, act upon it, make it real. You may find there's more people aligned with your truth than you realize. Regardless of global region, this full moon's max phase is occurring during a 9 universal month of fulfillments, completions, and endings. The main theme here is that some or all of your theories, thought processes, ideologies, and beliefs may be reaching their zenith. Having learned all you can through your experiences with them, it may be time to let them go or to allow yourself to be let go by them. This may also be the case in some of your partnerships and relationships of all kinds, including your relationships to groups, communities, workplaces, careers, and/or social circles. If you're wondering what may come to a completion or end, it may be revealed through the energy of the 6th universal year, which reveals which areas of our lives are functioning in healthy and productive ways. Any situation that is no longer healthy or productive for you may be coming to completion for you now. The 2022 Gemini full moon will be felt from Sunday, the 4th of December, through Saturday, the 10th of December, 2022. Use this 7-day window to clarify your thoughts and reclaim your personal power by honoring your higher and inner truths, by honoring what you really know. Some of these truths and the realizations and changes they bring will come to you in your life like a tornado. Some of them will come as storms you had a bit of time to prepare for, and some will finally arrive after being a long time in coming. Nevertheless, the mental and emotional shifts that occur at this time will be significant and defining. They'll also bring a great deal of personal truth and will likely be expansive in their influence upon your life. If you're not sure about what you really know to be true for you and within you, take some time to learn and figure those truths out for yourself. And if you're not ready to take responsibility for what you know to be true, this full moon phase is the time to make sure you're clear about and solid in your truths before taking action and responsibility to live into them. There's a lot to consider and reconsider now, but the most important thing to remember right now, in the face of so many emerging truths, it's okay to change your mind, especially if it'll set your mind, heart, and soul free to do so.